we were putting together business plans for small businesses.
Yeah.
Like they would just hire us out to small businesses would come in and we consult and do a business plan. But when I launched technology marketing reports, I sat down and I just for weeks and weeks just wrote out the plan, big binder, operations, sales, the whole thing. And have you experienced this where I'm working through and I'm flipping back from page to page because they're all connected, right? Everything's connected, right? So this connects to that. And I would literally see problems. Like the business is running in my mind.
Right.
Like it's scaling and it's running in my mind. I'm like, well, wait, we're going to have this problem here. Oh, okay, wait. I got to go back here and we're going to put this little process in here to fix this problem over there. Like we knew it was going to scale before, because we just did the test model for like a year in Philly and I knew it was going to take off. And so I sat down with my CFO, who it was her and maybe one other people. And I'm like, you're going to need to hire 7 people. You need to hire one person just to do collections because we were prepaid before and now we were going to be monthly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you just hire one person so that all he has to do all day is just collect. So when he calls up, he says, Gary, you owe us this amount of money. My name is Hector, the collector. I got nothing else to do, but make sure you pay. But you can see this, but have you seen that or do you coach that or with your clients? That was the amazing thing to me because I could see the business running in my head and I could see potential problems. And I'm like, and it's so easy to fix early on because you're like, oh, let me go back to page 17 and right here, I just have to put this little process in place that's going to prevent this problem from happening in the future.
Listen, you just touched on so many important things. We could talk for 2 hours about just your last couple minutes. There's so many nuggets in there. So one is I want to mention this about a business plan. The key thing that come out of a business plan is know what are the facts you know and control and what are the assumptions. So one assumption might be what your average customer size is going to be. It might be your close rate. Whatever those things are, I highlight them and say, okay, anything that's in yellow is an assumption. We got to put instrumentation in place. Because as soon as we start to get data that one of these assumptions is off, we got to change that plan. We don't want to get to the end of the year and not make the plan and say, oh, yeah, it's because we had a 10% close ratio instead of 20%. Well, there's a plan for 10%. That doesn't mean failure. It's just a different plan. Oh, we got to put more money into lead generation because we're going to need more lead.
Right.
So knowing what those assumptions are. And then the second thing that you touched on with your collections person is specialization. When I go into any business that's not achieving its potential, everyone's doing everything. And I like to put everybody in the smallest box possible. So if you would have had I need to hire somebody. I got 3 other people on my team. They'll just do collections. No, they won't.
Yeah.
They won't. It's a proactive job. They're going to do their reactive stuff. Like separating proactive from reactive and then putting people in defined roles. And then the second nugget you gave, which is a big mistake, people don't have process. So as they scale, they got 10 people that do things kind of 10 different ways where you need to have a defined, written process, checklist, and then accountability over time that there's no drift. And then when problems start to arise, you go back to your process and say, hey, we got to tweak this because things have changed. We're getting some unintended consequences from this. So like all these things that you're touching on, like as matter of fact, they're not matter of fact for most business people. And they're the difference between, if you read Jim Collins, the 50% of businesses in every industry that are at or below break even, and the 10Xers that make all the money. They have all the gross, they have all the gross margins and all the enterprise value. And it's the same way in my industries, the 2 industries, software and IT that I'm in. But those numbers hold up everywhere for the reasons that we're talking about.
Yeah.